Hey guys, it's YandereWizard here. Today I want to discuss Amazon's new game called New World. This game releases on August 31st. During the beta of New World, I put in 90 hours of game time and I really enjoyed the game, and I think the game has a lot of potential. But in today's video, I mainly want to discuss the flaws that I see in New World because the game is coming out very shortly and there's honestly just a lot of small issues that add up. The game, in my opinion, is about 90% complete. New World has amazing graphics. The gathering feels really good as well, and the combat, we can talk about that later. Alright, so for missing content first, let's go and talk about guilds. Now, guilds have really been kind of screwed in New World so far because the features there are so bare bone. First off, there's no guild housing, which means no guild storage, and in New World, storage is already a big hassle, and so whenever you have like crafters in a guild, it just makes trading things really hard because you have to go to each individual person. Each individual person also then has to give that gatherer resources, and it just bogs down their inventory. There's also small quality of life things that are missing for guilds. One of them being able to see who contributes and how much to the guild. Not being able to see who contributes money to the guild is just, it doesn't make sense why it's not there, because you know they're tracking it in the background. They need to display it for for officers and people in the guild. Having guild housing in a game is honestly just, in my opinion, like bare bones, because the guild needs somewhere to hang out. They need a place to just be able to decorate and socialize. Alright, so in my opinion, this is probably like the biggest feature that is missing from the game, and it's just being able to run. I don't know who made the decision that you can only walk at a brisk pace, but it's honestly just terrible. When a game like this does not have a feature like running, it really makes you question, do the developers even play the game? All they really need to do to fix this is just to add like a 20 or 25% speed buff whenever you're auto running. In New World, you do too much running, in my opinion. So you'll get a quest in a town and it'll tell you to go to 3 separate locations about 1,000. So, sometimes it can be 1,000 meters apart. And again, they'll be in all different directions. So you'll go from one point, then another 1,000 meters, and another 1,000 meters, and then you go back to town. It just takes up so much time. And when you're not able to run, you're just kind of brisk walking everywhere. It makes you want to quit the game, honestly. All right, and for the next two features, these are just really quality of life things. So in New World, there is a ton of vegetables and herbs. So having farms in the house would really help that. Just give people a plot of land to plant, a few items that they just don't like grinding. Another quality of life feature that they're missing is the ability to gamble and just have other mini games in a tavern. For an MMO, social areas, it's such a simple feature to add. I don't understand why they don't have it. It just shows you that the game is being rushed, and they will just add things later, which I don't know if that's going to work out too well.
I was following you the whole time.
Alright, so now we are going to go ahead and discuss the incomplete content that New World has. So one of the biggest issues that I see all over the forums of the game is leveling. In New World, the best way to get XP currently is to go to these town project board missions and just do them over and over. These missions include killing turkeys, rabbits, and other monsters, or just turning in resources. The reason everyone is doing this is because when you do normal questing in the game, the XP you get is just horrific. In New World, every region will have mobs that range in level. So for example, there will be an area where mobs are level 32 to 39. I spent about 2 hours doing all the quests in one region, along with a few PvP faction quests, and I got about 1 level. The reason this is insane is because, again, the mobs, they have a variety of levels from 32 to 39. So how much sense does it make that you'll do all the quests in the area, and then by the time you're done, so let's say you go to a zone, the mobs range in level 32 to 39, and then you do all the quests there, but then you go from 30 to 31. It's like guys, are you paying attention? After I spent 2 hours grinding those quests, I then went to a town, turned in 3 town board missions, and I got half a level. in like 2 seconds, just because I had the resources already. Oh man, and it's crazy too, because you'll see these guys that are high level, and they'll be out there in the field killing bunnies, because it's the best way to get XP, killing bunnies, guys. I don't know, maybe Amazon knows something that we don't know. The leveling up experience is something they have to fix before launch. You know, and this is pretty simple. All they need to do is, you know, nerf town projects, give less XP for that, and they need to at least, I would say, triple the XP you get from questing, because it does not make sense. And by the way, questing in the game the quests are really bad. I'm just gonna say it, they're really bad. It's a lot of just walking and killing, and then you'll go back and turn in the quest, and then they'll tell you, oh, go back to the area you just went, but instead of killing 5 guys, go loot 5 things. And it's, you know, I normally don't mind that in an MMO, but when you walk so slow, it's an insult. Another reason questing in the game is pretty terrible, in my opinion, is because the mob variety is just not there. Throughout the game, in the open world and in dungeons, you'll see the same mobs over and over again, like these ghouls and you know, alligators and things like that. And I don't mind that, but it's, you know, can you give the zombies different outfits? Can you add different variety of them? You know, this is one of the things that can make or break a game. When there's not enough variety, people get bored. Speaking of variety, let's go and talk about the weapons. In New World, there's just not enough weapons. The sword and shield is the only weapon that has a shield. You know, there needs to be a mace of some sort, or, you know, just anything to go along with the shield. The life staff is the only weapon in the game that uses focus. So, you know, there's clearly something missing. For ranged weapons, I think there should honestly be 2 more, you know, minimum. The weapons they do have in the game, a majority of them do feel great though. Okay, and since we're talking about weapons, I'll go ahead and quickly give my opinion on the combat in the game. The combat in New World is kind of like a slow back and forth, and many of the abilities will lock you in place. There is no animation canceling, so once you commit to using one ability, you know, you commit. I honestly don't mind this, but for some weapons, specifically the Warhammer and axe, it really feels terrible, because so you'll be, you know, running at someone, you'll push your ability to, you know, do a slam, and instead of, you know, running with the slam, your guy just stops and slams right where he is. This is really bad, because it just makes some abilities in the game super easy to dodge. The easiest way to fix this is just to add some sort of movement to abilities. So, you know, for the hammer, for example, what they should do is whenever you use the ability like a slam, you should be able to move along with that ability based on your movement speed. So let's say if you were just standing there and you slam, you're not going to move. But if you're running and then you slam with the hammer, you should be able to have that momentum, just so that you can actually, you know, direct it towards someone instead of looking like an idiot, like just slamming. One of the laziest things I've noticed about New World are the PvP quest. In every region, the 3 factions that are there, they can all of them can do these PvP quests and gain reputation in order to bring that area into war with another faction. For the PvP faction missions, you'll get 3 of these, and you'll just go to a certain area and do different tasks. They involve just killing wolves, gathering iron, or just standing there and being AFK. The reason these missions are so terrible is because they're repetitive, boring, and they take a long time. So it's basically here, you know, let me walk you down through the process. You'll run 600 meters there, go around, do the little task, run 600 meters back, turn in quest, get the quest again, go back and do the same boring, repetitive task, and you might get PvP. When I've been doing these quests, I think I've only died once to a person, and that's because I chased after them. So, like, you have to chase after people to get PvP when you do these, normally. This is one of the things I really hope they improve on before release, because this is going to be one of the things that push people over the edge to quit. Because when factions are trying to go at war with each other and they keep on doing these boring, repetitive missions, people are going to quit. It's not about if they're going to quit, it's about when. For the last section of the incomplete content in New World, I really want to talk about one of the long-term issues I think the game is going to have. In New World, I do not believe there are enough resource sinks to keep the game going long-term. What I mean by this is, let's say you create the best gear in the game. Once you have that gear, you will always have it. You just have to, you know, keep up with the gold and the repair cost of it. You know, you don't have to keep grinding for materials. What I see happening if they keep the game the way it is that once everyone in the game has the best gear, then people will only have to worry about consumables. Like, that's going to be the main thing people have in their inventories. And it's going to be very easy for people to fill up their inventory with items and their storage, because there is a limit to the storage. And once you stop using some items, you know, it's just going to get overfilled. One fix that, you know, is kind of just like a band-aid or quick fix is for like the best gear in the game, they should add a durability to it. So you can keep repairing the item, but the durability gets lower and lower. Just that way there's like a, you know, another sink in the game. You know, and there's lots of ways they could do this. Just add sinks in general. Like they need to add things or buildings or structures for people to continuously add resources to, so that there's always a reason to keep gathering and farming. If you've made it this far into the video, I just want to say thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions or feedback on my ideas and opinions, yeah, please leave a comment below, because I think we all just want the New World to do the best it can on release. And I'm just really concerned because they only have a month for all these fixes. What I believe will happen is the game is going to release a month from now. They're going to fix about a quarter of the things I've, you know, have issues with. And then after a few months, the game will die unless they continuously keep updating and adding these features that are missing. If you want to, guys, go ahead and throw me a follow on Twitch. And thank you again for watching. I hope you have a great day. Maybe I'm